A former chief in the NYPD is accusing the department of creating a glass ceiling for women on the force. Lori Pollock filed a federal gender discrimination lawsuit Monday. It alleges, quote, intolerable, difficult, and unpleasant working conditions that prevent women from advancing to the most prestigious executive positions within the NYPD. We spoke with Pollock and also learned it's a national issue.
To rise to the level that I did, only to be stopped because of my gender, is enraging.
Lori Pollock was a three-star chief who served the New York City Police Department for 33 years. She says she was forced into retirement last week. She's one of just 5 women to achieve that high of a rank on the force.
I saw other women getting treated poorly, and I knew that I was not going to advance, not under Commissioner Shea, and so I had to leave.
She alleges in a federal lawsuit that Commissioner Dermot Shea denied her a promotion because of her gender and moved her to another position, which she considered a demotion.
He ignored my requests to be considered for chief of detectives, and he subjugated me under a civilian male that started the week before I was demoted.
Pollock claims the department has systematically denied female officers the opportunity to compete for high-ranking positions.
There's never been a female chief of detectives, chief of patrol, chief of department, and no female police commissioners.
She's suing for monetary compensation for the extreme stress, humiliation, embarrassment, mental anguish, and damage to her reputation.
I think they know it's a problem, but they're not willing to address it, and that's why I have to expose it so that something gets done about it.
2 former female police chiefs filed similar lawsuits last year against the NYPD, claiming they were pushed out of their positions because of what they call discrimination based on age, gender, and race. Nationwide, women make up 12% of the police force and 3% of local police chiefs.
It's just a male-dominated field, and the biases come out when you have men making most of the decisions.
Heather Taylor's a near 20-year veteran of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department and is the first female sergeant in her department's homicide unit. She says gender bias is an issue in departments across the country. Is there systemic gender bias in the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department?
Absolutely. I have young women who've applied for jobs and they're qualified, and the job goes to a male who doesn't have the degree and the certification that the female officer has and the time on. For my friends who are all around the country, we have the same complaints.
Same stories?
Same stories across racial lines as well.
The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department denies any gender bias and told us that 16% of their department is made up of female officers and 20% hold the rank of sergeant and above.
It was a great job. But
Pollock hopes her lawsuit will bring positive change.
I'd say my police career is over, but there are so many talented women behind me, and I feel that I need to move the ball down the field for those women coming in behind me.
The NYPD denied similar allegations of gender discrimination in the lawsuits filed last year, characterizing those claims as baseless and said staff changes were based on merit. The NYPD told us that they will review Ms. Pollock's lawsuit when they've been served, and added that the contributions of women both in leadership roles and in their representation in the uniformed and civilian ranks across the police department cannot be overestimated.
Can't be overestimated, but they're underrepresented, clearly. And as you pointed out, Lori Pollock has 33 years.
33 years.
On the force.
How do you argue with that?
All right. Thanks, Michelle.